afternoon, children. Today we'll just move on to the first prose lesson of your third term English text, okay? See, the title of the prose lesson is Journey by Train, and it is written by Jules Verne. Okay, it's written by Jules Verne. He's a French novelist and poet. He was born in 1828 and died in 1905. Has written many novels and poems, and it has been widely read till now. Okay, he's one of the famous writers of the world, and this extract which is given for you is taken from the novel Around the World in 80 Days, okay? And just one part of this novel has been given for our study. So now we'll just move on to the lesson. All of you listen carefully. So now let me read the whole lesson, and after that I'll explain. So listen to my reading, okay? Journey by Train. This extract is taken from the classic adventure novel Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. An Englishman, Mr. Phileas Fogg, along with his French attendant Passepartout, attempts to go round the world in 80 days on a wager of $20,000, roughly $1.6 million today, set by his friends at the Reform Club. Read this extract where Phileas Fogg travels through some part of India at a time when the railways were being built in the country. Some places are spelled differently as the book was written over a century ago. The train had started punctually. Among the passengers were a number of officers, government officials, and merchants. Passport out rode in the same carriage with Mr. Fogg, and a third passenger occupied a seat opposite to them. This was Sir Francis Cromarty, one of the friends of Mr. Fogg, mate on the ship Mongolia that brought him to Bombay. An hour after leaving Bombay, the train had passed the bridges and the island of Salsette and had gone into the open country. During the night, the train left the mountains behind and passed Nasik, and the next day proceeded over the flat, well-cultivated country of the Khandesh, with its straggling villages above which rose the towers of temples. This fertile territory is watered by many small rivers and clear streams, mostly tributaries of the Godavari. Passepartout, on waking and looking out, could not believe that he was actually crossing India on a railway or train. The locomotive, guided by an English engineer and fed with coal throughout its smoke upon cotton, coffee, nutmeg, clove, and pepper plantations, while the steam curled in spirals around groups of palm trees, in the midst of which were seen attractive bungalows, viharas, sort of abandoned monasteries, and marvelous temples decorated by the rich work of Indian architecture. Then they came upon vast areas extending to the horizon with jungles where snakes and tigers lived. These creatures fled at the noise of the train. Then they came to forests where elephants stood gazing with sad eyes at the train as it passed. At 12:30, the train stopped at At 12:30, the train stopped at Berhampur. The travelers made a hasty breakfast and started off for Asurgarh. Now they travel along the banks of the small river Tapti, which empties into the Gulf of Cambrai near Surat. Then towards evening, the train entered the valleys of the Satpur mountains, which separate the Kandesh from Bundelkhand. It was 3 in the morning.